guys, welcome back to Cara Plans, where I am budgeting and planning my way through a debt payoff journey. Today we're going to be setting up my December monthly budget, and I am using the Planning to Prosper planner. It's digital, and she has a money management section. The Budget by Paycheck workbook by the Budget Mom does not have a monthly budget per se, except for this calendar page. So what I like to do is I like to do a whole month budget, even though I budget by paycheck, just to be able to close out my months and see where I am for a whole cycle of bills. So I like to set it up with my starting balance and all of my income sources that I'm working through right now. And just getting those set up and ready to go. And I always forget what this number is, so I always have to calculate it again. So that one's $13.86. And then my paycheck one is a variable expense. I get my base hourly rate, and then I get my commissions that I earned in the previous month during that. So that one is always an estimate. Paycheck two is pretty set in stone. It's my hourly rate plus my health benefits. And it fluctuated the past month a little bit. There was a little bit of a pay difference. So I'm estimating $1,400 there for a total income of $48.86 for the whole month of December. Now you'll see that she has the categories broken up into fixed and variable expenses. Through my budgeting journey, I've been able to make pretty much everything a fixed budget expense. The only things that really change are the ones that are based on usage that I can't do on a budget plan, like sewage. My debt payoff, I do that as a fixed amount, and then anything extra goes over into the variable expenses. My cable bill is always the same every month until they hike the rates again, but then it stays there for a little while. My van payment, always the same every month. That's a set bill. And what I do with my other utilities like West Penn, gas bill, I put them on a budget plan. So what the company does is they charge you the same amount for 5 months or 10 months, 10, 11 months, and then they balance out on that one last bill for any differences. My Bank of America, that is one of the cards that I'm working on paying off at 0%. So what I did was I went, and the 0% expires in April, and I divided what my remaining balance was, and that's how much I need to pay to get that paid off before the 0% expires. Now, Netflix did increase their prices starting in December by, I think, 99 cents, but with the taxes, I was estimating that to be about $14.80. I'll see once it actually calculates what the total will be. Spotify's always the same, and my Apple is not Instant Ink. Apple's my storage. I did bump that up to the next tier of storage. So instead of 99 cents, that one's been $2.99 for the past month or so. My cell phone bill and my Citi card, and then my HP Instant Ink is the $5.29. Water is another one of those variable expenses. So it's going over here. People's gas isn't really variable. It's always a budget amount. But I'm running out of space on the fixed side, so I moved it over here. UPMC is my health insurance. That one is also a fixed expense. My mortgage is also a fixed expense. So you can see where in my budget, a lot of my bills I've made fixed expenses. So I really don't need the breakdown of variable and fixed too much. So I'm pretty much done with the calendar. Now I need to set up what I contribute to my sinking funds and my cash envelopes. So I'm going to total these things up and then work on calculating those as well. And I'm just trying to adjust the size of the calculator so that I can see more of the screen here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to total each column up. The first column will go on the left, and then the other column will go on the right. And then I'll see where that is with my expected pay for the month. And that determines how much I'm going to put towards my sinking funds and my cash envelopes and still hold a positive balance in my account. If there's something that I need to cut, then it comes from sinking funds and cash envelopes first. So I've got the total for the first column here. It's the $1744.90. And then I'm just totaling up the second column. And I'm not going to put this number down at the bottom because my sinking funds and my cash envelopes are going to go over here as well. So that's the $883.87 for that top part of the column. And I'm just going to circle that in a darker black just so I know that those are totals for everything above them. And then I'll factor in those cash envelopes and the sinking funds. I really don't want to cut anything from my sinking funds because those are planned future expenses that I have goals towards. So usually if I need to work anything out, it comes from my cash envelopes, mostly from fun money, planning, or I try to cut household or food. Because most of the other ones I spend pretty much the same amount every month. So I'm just calculating what I usually put into my cash envelopes for the whole month, because I do break this down by paycheck, so I need to figure out how much is total per month. So I'm figuring about $840 goes towards cash envelopes for the month of December. And I'm just going to make sure I have that calculated in for the 1512. And then add that to the $883.87 for a total for that column. And a total for the left-hand column. So my total outgoing expenses should be about $4140.77. And my estimated income was $48.86. So I'm going to take a difference of that, and that's probably going to be my carryover to the next month. Some of that might go to extra debt, or if I'm able to save in those cash envelopes somewhere, or my income goes up. So some of that will go to extra debt. I usually don't carry over $745. So I would say probably if that's what my number turns out to be, that at least maybe 500 of that will go to extra debt. But I think my paycheck is going to be higher than that. And then she has the weekly check-ins in here as well. And I am going to start setting this up for week 1. I always forget to use this page, but I really want to have my weekly check-ins all on one page rather than throughout the budget by paycheck workbook. So I'm just kind of getting this set up with my starting balances. This is what I usually pull out in my first pay for these envelopes so that we can have these spent and the remaining filled in at the end of the week when I do my check-in. So that's pretty much my December budget setup. I'm sorry that the ink looks a little bit lighter. I didn't realize how light it was going to be when I used the thin pen, but I will learn and do that better next time. So thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate all your support. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time. Bye.